50-cent late pick 5 time on Saturday at Santa Anita. Kicks off graded stakes action. The Thunder Road Stakes. We're going a mile on the turf. You can bet the 50-cent pick 5 with a DRF Bets account. Sign up at bets.drf.com. Deposit $50. Bet with $200. Let's meet the field for the Grade 3 Thunder Road Stakes. Some real nice milers in here, Matt. Morning line favorite, deservedly so, the number 1 River Boyne. All this horse has done is win half of his 14 lifetime starts. He is a multiple graded stakes winner. He is 6-4-6 at Santa Anita, but this will be his first time around against older horses, pardon me. And I have to admit, I didn't like the way he changed back to his wrong lead at the end of his most recent start, the Mathis Brothers Mile.
No, and you know, the other thing too is I think you can make the argument that Desert Stone, the runner-up, who's going to run in this spot as well, I think you can make the argument that he was actually better than River Boyne that day, given the fact that he had to come from farther back and he had a little bit of a pinch that he had to get through eventually to ultimately get up there. Look, River Boyne, for all the reasons you laid out, he makes plenty of sense in here. This mile isn't going to be an issue for him. If you're going to be taking on older horses for the first time, this is probably a pretty good spot because there are no superstars. I just don't think he has any sort of giant edge. I think he's the most likely winner of this race, but at the same time, I don't need this horse at 3 or 4 to 5.
Let's get back to Desert Stone. You made some really nice points. I am his biggest fan, but he's got to get the River Boyne monkey off of his back. He's faced this horse, I believe, 4 times. He's finished behind him all 4 times. You're absolutely right about his last race. First of all, he missed the break. Then he's last on the rail most of the way. Then he alters to split horses 4 wide on the turn. He ends up reeling tight. He ends up changing back to his wrong lead when he gets bumped. When he's clear, he comes firing, and he just misses. This is a horse that seems to make trouble, and as we see from the Timeform US pace projector, his late running style might not work in a race like this.
That's my biggest concern with him. You know, I think there's some ability. I've liked him go all the way back to when he was with Rudy back in Saratoga. I liked him early on, and I just, you know, for one reason or another, he can't seem to get over the hump, or he can't string together victories. He won back-to-back races, but otherwise it just seems like he's been right there but not able to get over the hump. And the biggest problem in this race is it's a short field. There's not a ton of speed, if any, really, and I just think he's going to have too much to do.
Got to think that the 6 Blackjack Cat is going to be the speed in this race. This horse ran huge when 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Mile in 2017, and I have no idea what's happened, but he has not run close to that race in any one of his starts since. And that's a long time. He's now going to be with Jerry Hollendorfer for the first time. He does look like he can control this race. I just can't trust this horse off his recent form. You go in the Wayback Machine, he has a lot of races fast enough to not only win this, but win it easily.
You know what, more and more, I brought it up initially when talking about a horse like Arrowgate, but I mean, you can go all the way back through. You can look at Rachel Alexandra. You can look at a number of horses. Blackjack Cat, I'm starting to wonder, some of these horses, I think they have that one race where they absolutely redline, where they blow the engine, where they give it everything they've got, and they're just never the same after that. And I do wonder if that Breeders' Cup was that race because he was such a giant effort that day, and he just hasn't been able to rebound to it. And I have to be honest, that most recent run down at Turf Paradise, that was supposed to be, in my opinion anyway, the sort of confidence builder, where maybe he doesn't win, but he's going to give a good account of himself. He's going to be right there. And it was an unmitigated disaster. For that reason alone, I can't pick him in here. But I said to you before we come on, the most aggravating result to me is Mike Smith goes, takes the initiative, there's no speed signed on, and all of a sudden Blackjack Cat somehow calls back on his back class, and he goes and wires this field. I can't bet him, but I don't think it's totally out of the realm of possibility, even given his poor form.
The 3 Lequen's going to win one of these days. Yeah. Now, he hasn't since 2016, and he hasn't since shipping to North America. I bet him in the Lure 3 starts back at 19-1. I thought he ran real well, got beat a length. The Seabiscuit was a little bit too tough 2 starts back. Last time out, I thought he should have won. Now, I know Big Score is just, from a class standpoint, better than Lequen, but Lequen got the big jump on Big Score turning into the stretch. Big Score was in all kinds of trouble. Big Score finally came out, ran over the top of Lequen. Lequen, though, is a nice horse, but again, with his pace situation, he is a mid-pack to late runner that needs help up front, and I'm not sure he's going to get it. He's one of my favorites. I use him underneath.
I'm just curious, is there any reason that the connections haven't run him back on dirt? Because when he was in Argentina, that's basically what he ran on for the duration of his time there. Now, look, he's come up here. He's run good races on turf. Like you said, he's been right there in a number of instances. But, you know, at a certain point, you know, the definition of insanity, you keep going and expecting a different result. You know, he's 3 of 6 lifetime on the main track. He's 1 of 12 lifetime on grass. Look, maybe this is going to be the day on Saturday. He's going to make me look stupid for saying that, but at a certain point, I think you got to try him on the main track.
Matt, I think I made a big mistake when I didn't include the number 5 True Valor in my top 3 selections, because after digging deeper into the form, I think this horse has a big chance. He was a Group Stakes winner in Europe. He faced Catapult in his first 2 tries over here. We know what kind of horse Catapult is. And last time out, off of a long layoff, he got forced very wide going into the first turn. And after that, Andrea Atzeni did everything right. He got True Valor down towards the inside. The rail opened up. True Valor shot on through, and then I think just in the last 150 yards, he felt the effects of that layoff and ended up being outfinished by Big Score and LeQuen. With that race under his belt and his tactical speed, this horse to me is very interesting at the 8-1 morning line.
He's real dangerous because you brought it up. The way that this race could play out, there's a real scenario where Blackjack Cat goes. He is not what Blackjack Cat once was. True Valor inherits this thing turning for home. And again, I can't say it enough. In a short field of 6, if you don't love River Boyne, it's not like we're dealing with, Breeders' Cup caliber runners in here. There's a real chance that this horse could get brave. I too don't have him in my top 3. But at the same time, this is a race where I could certainly see this horse getting it done.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Grade 3 Thunder Road. I have to admit I chickened out, and I just think River Boyne's going to get it done once again. I think that Flavian's going to have him in a real good spot tracking this slow pace, and he'll be able to get some sort of a jump on the true closers in the race. But I'm not sure I'm in love with him. Let's talk about the number 2 Ohio, another one of our old favorites. He still pulls, Matt. Last time out in that Fitzsimmons handicap, he was throwing his head around in the early portion of the race. Jockey Fuentes got him to relax. I thought he had a great trip. I thought he was sitting in the pocket behind a 59-1 shot, and he was supposed to win that way, but it was nice getting that confidence boost that we were looking for Blackjack Cat. It happened for Ohio.
That's basically the way that I looked at it. I went back and I'm watching the tape, and you're right. I've chased Ohio so many different times, and I do think Mike McCarthy has figured something out with this horse because they had him in that 28 claimer down at Del Mar. I thought he was awesome that day. I liked him in the City of Hope Mile. Don't think he was embarrassed that day considering the top 2, Sharp Samurai and Fly to Mars. I like both of them, and I just thought they had the run of the race. That Seabiscuit was definitely disappointing, but that Fitzsimmons, you're right, he had a perfect trip. He was pulling, as he always does, down on the inside early on, but he finally did come to hand, and I understand it was against inferior company. It was a relatively slow pace. He tripped out. Usually, it's everything you don't want in a horse. This is a short enough field. I thought the race was visually awesome. I really liked everything about it, and I do wonder if this is going to be an opportunity. How many times am I going to have a chance to take on a field this short where I don't think any of them are superstars, and I might get 3 or 4 to 1 on this horse? I know he's 5-2 on the morning line. I would feel like a dope if I didn't retain that sort of loyalty and take another shot with him here.
Fair point. I went with River Boyne in here. I'm a little bit nervous about the 5 True Valor. I didn't put him in my top 3. I went 1, 4, and 3. You're going with Ohio on top. Give me numbers.
Yeah, 2, 1, 4 for me.
Kicking off the 50-cent late pick 5 at Santa Anita with graded stakes action. The Grade 3 Thunder Road at a mile on the turf. Get down with a DRF Bets account. Deposit 50 bones. Bet with 200. Bets.drf.com is where you need to go. Approximate post time 2:39 Pacific on a Saturday afternoon at the Great Race Place. Best of luck.